Good morning, I'm Maddie Jansen, and this is the podcast of 17 News at Sunrise. It's everything you need to know to start your day in about 15 minutes.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Sunrise.
Shutting down. Schools in Kern County prepare to close over concerns of coronavirus. What you need to know about the closures if you have students.
Shopping chaos, store shelves empty over the weekend as people prepare to hunker down. What this means for local stores as they struggle to keep up with demand.
Getting tested if you're showing symptoms of coronavirus. There are a few places in Kern County where you can get that test. Plus, we'll talk with a local doctor about what you need to know before you go in. Today is Monday, March 16th, 2020. Good morning, 5 a.m. Good to have you with us. I'm Maddie Jansen alongside Alex Fisher.
And we have a lot to get to today. I know a lot of people are waking up this morning with a lot of fear, a lot of unknown, because we are entering a new work week with a lot of changes just from overnight.
That's true, and we're going to get to all of those coming up in just a moment. But we also have a lot of changes going on in the weather department, right, Kev?
Most definitely. We've got a storm that's brewing. It will be arriving today, and it will be arriving with plenty of rain and also some mountain snow. You can see here on the satellite radar right now, it is dry. We've got the clouds. We have some rain out to the west. This will start to move into Kern County as we progress throughout the day. We're at 55 degrees right now. We have a south wind at 14, so we've seen the breeze pick up, and that's an indication that the system is getting a little bit closer. Here's a look at the hour by hour, starting out in the 50s today with about a 40% chance of a shower in there by 7 a.m., and we'll increase that throughout the day under a little bit of a breeze. And then for Tehachapi, you're at 37, an easterly wind at 10, and we are going to be looking at some snow by late tonight into tomorrow. We'll start out in the 30s. You can see that snow level right around 5,000 feet throughout the day. By 3 o'clock, 47 degrees, but that snow level will plummet overnight. We'll talk much more about that coming up in just a little bit. Alex?
All right, Kev, thanks so much. And let's take you outside for the first time this morning. Here's a look at the 99 at Airport Drive. And as you can see, your morning commute is looking pretty good for the most part to start off your Monday morning. And there is one crash being reported on the northbound lanes of the 99 just north of the 46. So keep that in mind if you are headed out that way. Again, details are limited at this time, but we will keep you updated if it becomes too much of an issue for your morning commute. But other than that, it is looking pretty good outside. We will have another check of your morning commute coming up in about 15 minutes. We have a lot to get to this morning, so let's first begin with the latest numbers of COVID-19. There are no cases of coronavirus here in Kern County. As far as how many people are being tested for the virus, Public Health says they are no longer able to track how many people are being tested. They add public health officials are the ones and the only ones that can confirm a case of COVID-19. It is a mandated reportable disease, so if there was a confirmed case, public health would be the first to know and report it. Across the state, there are more than 400 cases. This includes people who were on board the infected cruise ship, which remains docked in Oakland. Over the weekend, health officials in Tulare and Fresno confirmed another case of the virus. Meantime, in San Bernardino and San Luis Obispo, health officials there confirmed their first cases of COVID-19. 6 people in California have died from the virus.
And in response to concerns over the virus, schools in Kern County are closing down this week. County Superintendent Mary Barlow and County Director of Public Health Services Matthew Constantine have asked all public schools to close by end of day Wednesday. This includes preschools and charter schools in Kern County. They further recommend schools plan to reopen no earlier than Tuesday, April 14th. That's after spring break for most students. Students should still attend school today and wait for further instruction from their school district on when their last day will be. Meantime, we are getting word on when that will be for several districts. They've announced that tomorrow will be their last day of instruction until the Tuesday after spring break. Those districts who will be closing after tomorrow include Kern High School District, Bakersfield City School District, McFarland Unified School District, Arvin Union School District, and Greenfield Union School District. Again, this is just a short list of those that we've gotten word are closing after school tomorrow.
College students will continue their learning at home. Meantime, Bakersfield College has moved to an online format to prevent large gatherings and prevent the spread of the coronavirus. So, students will continue their classes without having to go to campus. Plus, BC has upped their sanitization stations and began promoting healthy habits among students. And at CSUB, similar precautions are in effect. Students are in the middle of midterms, so campus is allowing them to do in-class exams until the end of next week. Starting today, teachers will have 4 work days to convert their classes online. There will be no classes on these days. Following the 4 days, most classes will be converted to online with the exception of art and labs. Students at residence halls will be able to stay there and all dining services will remain open. If you may be in need of testing for COVID-19, there are a few places you can go here in Kern County. Priority Urgent Care will start testing for the coronavirus tomorrow at all 4 local sites. Patients with respiratory symptoms who have recently traveled or may have come into contact with a person who has tested positive will be notified in their cars when it is their turn to be seen. From there, they will be screened in special isolation rooms. Testing is free. Accelerated Urgent Care on Coffee Road and Stockdale Highway will also offer testing beginning early this week. It will be covered by insurance, but patients will have a copay.
Workers, meantime, constructed a large tent in the parking lot of Memorial Hospital's emergency room for pre-screenings of COVID-19. According to a press release, Bakersfield Memorial Hospital is preparing to identify, isolate, and treat any potential patients who seek care during the coronavirus outbreak. Across the country, hospitals are also building tents to accommodate large numbers of people who fear they are infected with the COVID-19 virus.
And just a reminder, here are the symptoms of the coronavirus. And it includes fever, a dry cough, meaning there won't be mucus, fatigue, and shortness of breath. Less common symptoms include aches and pains, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and diarrhea. Meantime, remember the flu is also going around in our community as well. Those symptoms are similar, but muscle and joint pain, a runny nose, and headache will be more common for the flu. And also keep in mind a lot of people are experiencing allergies. Those symptoms include sneezing, coughing, itchy eyes, and a runny or stuffy nose. And remember that if you think you are experiencing some symptoms of the coronavirus, call your doctor before going into their office.
5:07 now in the U.S. Is the U.S. headed for a shutdown? The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says Americans should cancel or postpone all gatherings of 50 people or more for the next 8 weeks. That's as experts say social distancing is imperative to curb the spread of coronavirus. The CDC says the new guidance applies to conferences, festivals, parades, concerts, sporting events, weddings, and any other gatherings. It applies to organizational events and those individuals have planned. According to the CDC, travelers at such gatherings could bring coronavirus to communities that don't yet have it. It says events that do take place need to prioritize the protection of vulnerable populations and emphasize hand washing and social distancing.
Fear and panic continues to rise as the coronavirus is spreading across the nation. And 17's Nicole Gitsky joins us live this morning outside Winco with a look at those trying to get a head start at stores. Good morning, Nicole.
Good morning, guys. Well, coming on the heels of a busy weekend, the CDC is now urging the halting of 50 or more people in a gathering. Well, people are still fighting to get their hands on much needed products. Well, here this morning, along with over the weekend, people have lined up outside to get their hands on essential products. Well, some shoppers told 17 News over the weekend they got to the store as early as 5 a.m. on Saturday, hoping to beat the crowds, only to find hundreds, if not thousands, other people had the exact same idea in Bakersfield. Well, some items that are now out of stock at some of the stores include hand soap, disinfectant spray, toilet paper, bread, and the list goes on.
And I'm in line since like 6:20 this morning, hoping to get toilet paper and paper towels.
Why toilet paper?
Because you can't find it anywhere. I went to 9 stores yesterday and no luck.
Well, even over the weekend at the Costco on Panama, the line extended all the way down the street. And in South Bakersfield, hundreds wanted to get into the Food Co. store on White Lane. Well, experts warn not to give in to fear-driven tactics like this, along with President Trump saying this is no time to panic. Well, if those of you who are heading out today, you better expect more of the same here on Coffee Road in Winco. At Winco, there are still dozens of people lined up ready to get inside. And also, I went to several stores over the weekend, and there are empty shelves you can expect on Stockdale at the Target. No toilet paper, no baby wipes, no Self products. There are a lot of things out, so expect more of the same to come in the coming week. Send it back over to you guys.
Yeah, I tried to go shopping yesterday, and although I didn't have a problem getting in, a lot of the things that I was looking to buy were gone. All the shelves were just absolutely empty. So it's one of those things that if you don't get a head start on your shopping by early morning even, a lot of those items are already gone. Thanks so much, Nicole.
It's 5:10 now. Governor Gavin Newsom and state officials held a press conference to provide an update on the state's response to COVID-19. Yesterday, Newsom directed all bars, wineries, nightclubs, and brew pubs to close. He also asked that the occupancy in restaurants be reduced by half to keep people farther away from each other. The governor urged those 65 years and older and people with chronic health conditions to stay home. In addition, Newsom called out the Kern High School District for not shutting down on-campus classes amid the coronavirus outbreak.
24 out of 25 of the largest districts in the state of California have already shut down. The one remaining in that group is Kern High School District.
And of course, following that statement from the governor, all public schools in Kern, including the high school district, will close no later than Wednesday. In Los Angeles, Mayor Eric Garcetti made a similar announcement. He called for emergency action to close bars, nightclubs, and restaurants in an attempt to slow the spread of COVID-19. Garcetti also announced a moratorium on evictions for renters and said he has asked the city attorney to look into whether the city can stop commercial evictions. The order is in effect as of this morning. Here at home, Mayor Karen Go issued a statement in response to the governor that reads in part, "I encourage our residents and businesses to proactively protect the health of our community by observing the guidelines of the governor and our public health agencies."
It's 5:11 now. The coronavirus outbreak is impacting just about every aspect of our daily lives, even how we worship.
Yeah, 17's Karen Waugh spoke with local religious leaders and has more on the story when we come back.
Welcome back at 5:21 with the government and health officials urging people to practice social distancing. What does that mean for the normally packed pews of Bakersfield churches?
17's Karen Waugh visited a few local churches to see how they're worshiping while taking precautions against COVID-19.
No virus is too big for you, Jesus.
In this time of the coronavirus pandemic, some are turning to religion for guidance.
We just say God's bigger than the coronavirus, right? But in the middle of that, we also want to use wisdom.
There are still no cases of coronavirus in Kern County, and in hopes of keeping it that way.
And so there will be no masses after today for the next 2 weeks.
So this Sunday, some churches met for one final time this month, spreading out congregants to practice social distancing and stopping communal practices like shaking hands, sharing coffee, or receiving the chalice.
Governor Gavin Newsom declaring that they were recommending all gatherings of 250 or above be canceled or postponed, and this is why we're in here today kind of spreading out. We're moving people around today. We're blessed that came because we have 4 different venues we can do simultaneously.
Others are embracing a new normal.
And we want to thank you for tuning in to the worship service today.
For our first online video church gathering, we have become a multi-site church with over 1,000 sites overnight. Wow.
But online or in person, it's the same message of hope.
The church at large has made it 2,000 years. We're not going anywhere. We're going to still have church however we can, right?
Church is not about the building, it's about the people. And no matter what, we get to come together and worship Jesus no matter what, where we're at.
Karen Waugh, 17 News.
And we want to reiterate that as of now, Kern County health officials say that there are still no reported cases of COVID-19. 2 men connected to a deadly shooting last week are due in court today. That is, this all happened on March 11th at a home on Whitegate Avenue. That's when officers found Rocha suffering gunshot wounds at the home. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Bakersfield police arrested Darius Poole and Amian Oliver for the murder of Joshua Rocha. Officers say they are still looking for the gun used in the shooting.
Bakersfield police need your help finding an at-risk man who went missing in southwest Bakersfield. According to police, 60-year-old Ernie Johnson was last seen Friday afternoon in the 5900 block of Winter Grove Drive. Johnson's 5'9" and weighs about 150 pounds. He's considered at risk because of medical conditions. And another man went missing in East Bakersfield Saturday night. BPD says 41-year-old Anthony Imbert was last seen at Kern Medical in the 1700 block of Mount Vernon. Imbert is 6 feet tall and weighs about 200 pounds. He's considered at risk because of a mental condition. If you see either of these men, call BPD at 327-7111.
524 now, and from groping microphones to paying salaries.
The move one Utah Jazz player is taking after testing positive for coronavirus.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back. It's 527 now. One of Sin City's hotspots is shutting down because of coronavirus. MGM Resorts announced on Sunday that operations are temporarily suspended at all of its Las Vegas properties. The closure becomes effective on Tuesday. No word on how long it will last. In a written statement, Chairman and CEO said slowing the progress of the virus requires everyone to take action. MGM Resorts says no reservations will be taken prior to May 1st. And the coronavirus pandemic has the weekend box office hitting a 20-year low. Audiences largely stayed away from theaters after health officials urged social distancing. That resulted in tanking box office revenues. Onward kept the top spot in the U.S., but suffered the worst decline in Pixar history. It brought in $10.5 million, a 73% drop for Pixar. The faith-based drama I Still Believe brought in $9.5 million to come in second. And the Vin Diesel action movie Bloodshot came in third with a little more than $9 million. Theaters in some areas, including New York and Seattle, are closing their doors because of coronavirus. Alex?
All right, thanks, Maddie. Coming up the next half hour on Sunrise, the government is taking steps to combat COVID-19. The latest from Washington this morning, plus the total lockdown hoax circulating the internet.